Hi Cozy Hobby friends! Today I will be sharing about my everyday carry pocket notebook that I take with me on the go. Previously I shared about this daily log task manager pocket notebook, which is different than this one because this is usually on my desk and I always refer to it when I need to look at the next thing or item that I need to do for the day. Whereas my pocket notebook is for me to take with me and capture ideas or thoughts while I'm out and about. The reason why I started carrying this around is because I wanted to scroll less on my phone when I'm out. There are so many times when I am out and about just waiting for things, and the first thing I do is pull out my phone. But I want to learn to be better attuned to my thoughts and also try to have a way of capturing ideas and to-dos without having to pull out my phone. Something that I noticed is whenever I take that phone out, I immediately forget what it was that I wanted to write down or remember because there's just so many other things on the phone that is easy to distract me. The main use that I have for this is to capture ideas, shopping lists, to-dos when I'm out and about. Recently, I've also made it a habit of writing down doctor questions or questions from my doctor before I go to my appointments, so that I don't forget anything that I want to discuss when they ask me, do you have any questions? I also write down other interesting things or recommendations that I hear when I'm listening to a podcast, but I also do a little bit of micro-journaling, and this has been really nice for when I'm just waiting a lot of the times at the doctor's, have nothing to do, so I'll just jot down whatever I'm thinking and how I'm feeling at that time. Now, putting everything into this little notebook cover has been a recent upgrade. Before, I had a notebook and pen in each of my bags, but I found that I didn't reach for my notebook as much. The other problem that I had was the separation of all of these notebooks got to be too much. I just didn't know where to look for my notes because I just had too many notebooks. Now, I was inspired by another YouTuber, Moonlit Journal, who also has an everyday carry wallet and notebook combo. This solved the problem of needing a notebook in each bag because all I do is I just transfer this wallet from bag to bag depending on which one I wanted to use that day. This cover also brings me a lot of joy. It is genuine leather and I got it from Etsy, but I took a long time to decide what size I wanted because you can go for a traveler's notebook that is passport sized, or you can get a pocket notebook leather cover which is slightly taller. I opted for this pocket notebook cover because you can always fit a smaller passport size notebook in here, but you cannot put a pocket notebook inside of a traveler's notebook because that cover is going to be too small. That's been okay for me because I actually really like these pocket notebooks. Like I said, I found these pocket notebooks to be a really great size and price when I bought them online. So I have like 30 of these. These are going to last me forever. But my concern was that this would not fit inside of my little bags, but I'll show you, it actually does. Here are all the bags that I like to use on a day-to-day basis, and the one I was most concerned about was this one because it's a small little belt bag, but I found that it does fit pretty well, and I can fit my phone back here too. So this was no longer a concern for me when I did the measurements and made sure that it fit in my smallest bag. I love having everything together. Back when I had a separate notebook and pen in each bag, I actually lost one of my Muji pens, which was so sad to me because there's no Muji near where I live. And so I just had to be okay with that loss. But now everything is together. I have my cards here, extra cards inside of this pocket, a little bit of cash in this one. So everything is just with me. Now, the thing I had the most questions about when I saw other people's pocket notebook systems is that this is a perfect way to capture ideas, right? But how do I remember or retrieve those things that I had captured? What I learned is not only do you use this to write down your ideas, but you have to go back and look at the things that you wrote down and sort them into their permanent spot. What I do is I look at the things that I write down and I put the tasks into my planner. And once I have done that, that means they have been migrated or taken care of, so I can scratch that task off. This is helpful for any item that has an immediate need because I can immediately assign the day or time to finish that task by putting it in the planner. Now, if it is an idea, it goes into my long-term storage notebooks, so it could go into either my thinking book where I have an entire section back here dedicated to projects, things that I want to do around the house, or things that I want to look into. These are all projects. For my collections, where I list a wish list of stuff that I want, or books and TV shows that I want to consume. But half the battle of keeping a successful everyday carry pocket notebook is to look back on the things that you wrote and make sure that they go into some sort of place that you can reference in the future. Finally, let's talk about, am I using my phone less since I started this system? Well, that is a work in progress, because I will say that it is much easier to reach for my phone and scroll on it rather than actively think and write down ideas that I have. But it has been a really nice companion when I'm waiting at places, especially recently with all my prenatal visits. I've been going to the doctors a lot. It's been nice to wait at the doctor's office and write down how I'm feeling, any concerns that I have. Or if I'm in line at the store waiting, I can also pull this out to write down any immediate things that I wanted to tackle. Having this notebook is just nice because it gives me something to do other than go on my phone. So I'm curious, do you have an everyday carry? What do you use it for, and what do you like to write in there? Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you again soon.